This is a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, August 6, 2026, the 564th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Federal aviation officials are reviewing an air traffic safety incident involving Trump's Marine One helicopter, which took off from the White House on the afternoon of August 4th, but air traffic controllers had not halted commercial flights at National Airport in Washington as required under safety protocols. Trump's helicopter came really close to hitting nothing, and Trump was not in any danger, but we had to hear about it anyway. Donald Trump confronted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at Camp David last week over a munition shortage that could limit Trump's military options in the Iran war. Hegseth had blamed his deputy, Stephen Feinberg, for the shortages and for not making sure Trump was fully informed of the issue. Hegseth was so quick to throw Feinberg under the bus, I thought Hegseth was the Secretary of Transportation. Gary Glitter, the 82-year-old former pop star, whose real name is Paul Gadd, appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court on Wednesday, charged with unlawful sexual intercourse with a girl under 13 and 3 counts of indecent assault on the same girl under 14 between 1978 and 1981, when the girl was between the ages of 8 and 11. He was 23 years her senior. A spokesperson for Gary Glitter said it sounds so much worse when you hear a judge say it. A Mexican influencer, Cesar Gastelum, was shot dead on Tuesday while streaming live on social media outside a restaurant in Sinaloa State, where cartel and gang violence is rife. 600,000 followers, and Gastelum couldn't talk a gunman out of shooting him? Some influencer. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, August 6, 2026, the 564th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV. Viva the Revolution!
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Yes, good morning. Hi, this is Coffee with the Dog, no dog. It is No Matt Thursday, July 6, 2026. Sorry, August 6, 2026. And well, I'm going to do my best to make this show entertaining today. I'm not apologizing. I'm just stating a fact. We have suffered in my house, we have suffered a great loss yesterday, last night, with one question to go. We were in the lead by 6 points. All we needed was to get a 5-point answer, and we'd have won. Last question. It's either worth -5, +5, or +10. and we got the -5. And so we came in fourth place instead of winning all out, right out, like we could have. And so it was pretty bad loss. I don't understand. I don't understand. It's a Family Feud type trivia thing, which means they get like they ask a question and there's the top 5 answers. And when they give the top 5 answers, it's like kind of like no, didn't lose any teeth. When they give the top 5 answers, you get to like those the fifth answers worth the fifth most popular answer is worth 1 point, and the most popular answer is worth 5 points. That's during the game itself. And we were doing pretty good. By the end of the first half, we were in second place by 3 points. And like I said, by the end of the second half, we were ahead by 6 points. And all we needed was a 5-point question, a 5-point answer. We'd have been up by 11. And and even if the person behind us got a 10-point answer, they'd have been 1 point behind us and got second. That's it. And so the question was, name a famous Canadian actor. Now, my wife and I both immediately thought Ryan Gosling. And then we both agreed, no one's going to say Ryan Gosling. And so we decided that we would go with Ryan Reynolds, because it seems like he's every fucking where. Okay, he is the quintessential Deadpool. So he's been Deadpool in 4 Marvel movies? The 3 Deadpool, let me see, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, then Deadpool and Wolverine, that's 3. So, okay, so 3, he's the quintessential Deadpool. And then he's in the Mint Mobile commercials. He's a part owner of Mint Mobile. So his commercials are everywhere. And then he has a TV show, I think it's on Apple, and I think it's called Wexler or something, where he is in real life part owner of a professional soccer team. And I think it's Wexham. I think it may be Wexham. I can't remember the name. I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up. It's got the word Wex in it somewhere. It could be wax on, wax off. I don't know. And he has that. And then he has, other movies that he's been in. The Green Lantern. He was in that reluctantly. Clutched at the starting line. Engines purring or starting and running in time or something. I can't remember. So my wife and I both thought Ryan Reynolds, and we convinced the rest of the team Ryan Reynolds. But also the rest of the team couldn't think of anybody. They're trying to think of a famous Canadian. Matter of fact, I'll take that back. They could, but they were almost all dead. It's like, or they're saying, is it so-and-so still alive? And if you have to ask that question, then they probably aren't that popular. That's my theory, and my theory was valid only because every answer we came up with, none of them were on the list anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered who we went with. Our answer wasn't on the list. The team that did wind up winning, a guy named Dutch, well, his name is Doug, his team is Dutch. After he puts his answer and he comes over to our table and he says to us, what did you put? And we said, Ryan Reynolds. And he said, I went with Jim Carrey. And then I said, really? He goes, yeah. And he said, my first choice was Ryan Gosling, but I didn't think anybody would think of Ryan Gosling. And he's right. In the top 5 answers, no. Yes, both of those were in the top 5. Jim Carrey was number 1. That's what he put, and he won. Michael Myers was on there. Michael Myers. Now I don't know when they asked these questions, Well, Michael Myers really isn't relevant. He's just becoming relevant again because he's doing Verizon commercials, which have not been out that long. Okay, so I I get, and for me, this is hindsight is 50-60. So yeah, Jim Carrey, um, Ryan, Michael Myers, yep, those were in the top five, and Ryan Reynolds was not even in the top five. Um, and every time they gave one of those answers, like they said someone, and we go like, "What? No!" And then they say another one, we were like, "What? No!" And we knew we were in trouble because nobody was thinking like we were thinking. Everybody that they picked was, and I'm not saying has-beens, because like I said, Michael Myers is doing Verizon commercials. I am doing none. He may have been a has-been. I'm a never was. Jim Carrey, as talented as he is not doing anything right now except, well, at least up front. He may be behind the scenes producing stuff. I don't know. And he's really talented. But it's possible that he got overexposed, or his Ace Ventura character. But he did other stuff too. See, if he had only done Ace Ventura, but he did other stuff. Liar Liar. I can't think of anything else though. Oh, the Dumb and Dumber series. Okay, so yeah, but I didn't think of that. I didn't watch Dumb and Dumber. I've not seen other than trailers or advertisements for it, like when it's coming on television, they'll show like a scene of them. I think they got this tongue stuck to something. But other than that, I never watched it. Not 1 second of it have I watched it. Not even channel surfing. Not even like channel surf and stop and went, oh, nope. So yeah. So we lost. We got our asses handed to us last night. We went from first place to 4th or 5th. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's another. We did not think of Keanu Reeves. Okay, now again, but Gosling didn't make the list, so I don't know if Heavy Kev is saying Gosling is the best at the moment. Project Hail Mary is awesome. I haven't seen Project Hail Mary. So, and I think Gosling is up for one of the Marvel movie parts. I think in Secret Wars. I think he's going to be in. I don't know, because the way Marvel works, you don't really know until they produce till it's out there. Because like I saw the Spider-Man movie, and a lot of stuff that they shot for Spider-Man made the cutting room floor. And a lot of stuff they shot, they could probably a lot of stuff that they shot and cut out, they could probably put together a blooper reel that's as long as the movie itself. So there. So we suffered a great loss, and so it's a rough time in the Fenderson household last night. That and our bathroom remodeling rehab is turning into a bathroom remodeling disaster. Everything was going so well from the back wall. It's funny, the further you get into the bathroom, the better it is. And that's why he started first. He started on the far wall, and everything looks great. And then you get out past the toilet, out to the sink, and that's when shit starts going crazy. We paid for a custom designed sink. That we don't make it like that, because we wanted a new sink. The counter, the counter, a custom design. The box comes and it has the right name on the box, the right description. You open it up, looks nothing like it. And it's going to be 4 more weeks before we can get it, because it's custom design. that's why we had to wait 4 weeks the first time around. And they want us to pay the whole thing and we wait for the sink. And my wife and I are like, no, because once you get your money, we don't feel like fighting with you to get you back out here. Or it's not in. We ordered it. It's not in. It's not in. It's not us. It's them. It's not us. It's them. It's the manufacturer. It's not us. So we said, no, we'll pay for everything except for what the sink portion would have cost. But the guy who, when he finished it, when we went to turn the sink on, because he took the sink apart to put the new counter on, and it turns out the counter was the wrong counter, so he had to put it back in the box. And they put our sink back together, but the water didn't work. He says he thinks that dust or something got clogged up in it, like dirt or something got clogged up in it. In a way, I don't know how that happens, because when you take the water off, turn the water off, when you turn the water off, you open the faucets, and since that sink is on the upper floor, and we had the downstairs faucets open, you think if there's any dirt, it would have gone downstairs and not up. But at any rate, it was like a trickle. So and they're leaving, and everything else in that bathroom is working except for the water to that sink. And since we were going to replace that faucet anyway, I was trying to get the screen out so I can clean it out. And whoever put the faucet in 5 or 6 or 7 years ago fucked it up. And so when we were trying to take it out, we had to like almost break it to do that. And it's still not working. So that faucet, so we don't have water in that bathroom, but that was what I was thinking about. And I didn't look at the doors. Good morning, Mr. Slaptail. Yes, GD Thursday. And I haven't gotten around to showing anything. I'm explaining why my house is in mourning. It's mourning for everybody on the East Coast, but we're in a different kind of mourning. The you mourning. Or me, because I'm talking about me now, not you. So it's a me mourning. I didn't notice the doors. I was so concerned about the sink and what I was going to have to do to get it working that I didn't look at the doors. They replaced our doors. And in the contract, it says they'll match the new doors to the existing doors. And I think their idea of matching and my wife's idea of matching does not match. When they put the new door jambs up, you can see all the nail holes, like 40 nail holes from the nail gun all around the door. We didn't have nail holes because before we had puttied them in. The old door, puttied in, painted over, smooth. This one, all these holes. And my wife and then she realizes that the door is not white, it's primer colored. Oh, and that was one of the things that was one of the things that was important to her, really important to her, was to get the doors done. Because when she goes to the bathroom, she closes the door, she's looking at the doors. And when you're looking at the doors that long, you don't want to sit there and pick out blemish after blemish after blemish, especially when your inclination is to think of things in the worst settings. I'm a person, I'm not a glass half full or a glass half empty person. I'm a glass half full if you're in the process of filling the glass. I'm a glass half empty person if you're in the process of emptying the glass. If the glass is sitting there and there's water in it and it's at the halfway mark, it's just water at the halfway mark. See, I don't think of it as half full or half empty at that point. Am I drinking it? If I'm drinking it, it's half empty. If I'm filling it, it's half full. But my wife the glass has got something in it. Now I got to wash it. So that's very negative. And so when you got someone who does that, and you got the bathroom door that she's staring at, it just gets worse and worse. And she spent a good chunk of the evening crying up until we left to go play trivia when she was drinking. until she stopped crying. And we're still angry because we saved up for 3 or 4 years to get the money to do this bathroom remodel because we wanted to pay it in cash. You didn't want to um, um, owe any interest on it. We cash. So we've been saving for like 3, maybe 4 years for it. And so now we're gonna have to talk to these people. I'm not going to mention the company by name yet because it's an ongoing instigation. And if they resolve it to our satisfaction. There's no point for me to badmouth them. I may not praise them, but I won't badmouth them because they've made right by it. So there. Now, another announcement. I think I showed you guys this before. This is some footage of a raccoon that comes to our porch a couple nights a week, and you can see it has no mask. It has no mask. And turns out that it's just missing the direct. This is my observation, and if I mentioned this last time, I apologize. Raccoons basically have 3 colors. Okay, it's like the gray or white, depending on how you see it. It's gray, or it's brown, light brown, dark brown, and gray. Let's say, because I don't think the area that black area around the face is actually black. I don't think it is. I think it's dark brown. But you notice it doesn't have any stripes, so it's missing a 3rd color. So I think raccoons are tricolored creatures. This one's genes didn't turn on a 3rd color. This one is a female. And I know that now because the last time it showed up, it brought 4 babies with her. And they all had masks. Now this one, I was calling her Paleface. But now I've decided to call her Gracie. Gracie, because the gray face, Gracie. But I'm spelling it Gray CY, like that, Gracie. But I'm sorry, we're negotiating. I think it's going to be GRAYCEE, Gracie. Yeah, that's it. That's how we're going to. No, CI. That's it. GRAYCI. That's it. That's how we're going to spell it, Gracie. But she showed up with 4 babies. Now, I did not record the babies because when I'm in the dining room waiting for my cat to come back in the house, which is when they're out there eating, I'm on my phone. And if I record on my phone, which I did this, it takes me, I have to go around to email it to myself. Or actually, in this case, it's only like 30. That's why it's such a short video, because I wanted to be able to just send it to myself easily. So I was on my phone. I was playing a game on my phone. And I didn't want to interrupt the game to try to do the video of them. But the next time they're there, I will get my video camera and record them. But she had 4 babies with her. And fortunately, that night we had 4 bowls of food out. So 2 of them had to share. She was not sharing. She does not share. She does not share. Let me get rid of her. Let me move. So that's Gracie. So her name now is Gracie, GRAYCI, Gracie. And she has 4 babies. Now I don't know if all 4 of those babies are hers and how many of them she's like just babysitting or how many just followed her. I don't know, but they're all really cute. They're really cute. And they're still making the kitten sounds. Not kitten like in cat kitten like in that's what baby raccoon is called, a kitten. They're still making those noises. And they're not afraid of me. When I open the door, she's not afraid of me because she knows I'm a source of food. So now if I walk out on the deck, then she runs. And she tries to keep at least 6 to 8 feet of distance between us. Unless, because the food is right next to the door, as you can probably tell from the video. If I open the door, she'll look up, but she does not stop eating. So I can get within 2 feet of her there. But if I cross the threshold, which for some reason raccoons know what a threshold is. If I cross the threshold, then she goes out to the edge of the deck, which is about 8 feet, maybe 10 feet away. And then she'll turn around. And she turns around to see if I'm going to throw her a biscuit. If I throw her a biscuit, she picks up the biscuit and she leaves, eats it somewhere else, and it comes back up to get more of the cat food. So she didn't run, and the babies didn't run, but all of the babies didn't get to eat. When they were done, one baby was still sitting around looking for food, and so when I went out to give him food, he didn't run from me. So his name is Braveheart. And there's no distinguishing mark on him, so I would know him from any other raccoon. So if another baby raccoon came up and didn't run and took the food from me, I would probably think that was Braveheart. I have no idea. I can't tell all the raccoons apart. I mean, I can tell some of them apart because of the mask. Some of them have you have to get real close and pay real close attention to their mask so you can tell them apart. They can tell each other apart really easy, but they are used to it. Now, all right. I did prepare some stuff. One other thing. I mentioned the bathroom remodeling thing. So we got issues, and at some point, they're going to call me. And when they call me, I don't know how long I'm going to be on the phone. So when that happens, I am going to put in part 2 of my interview with Jennifer Lieberman from Done Way Past Funny. That way, if the phone conversation goes more than 30 minutes, then I'm in trouble because it's only like a 30. I don't plan on being on the phone that long with them, but so when that happens, I will excuse myself and play that clip. So just to give a heads up. Now, I want to put something. I'm going to start off with something I did for Politipod. Let's see. When did I do it? 2022? Yeah, I did it in 2022. No, pause. Right, 2022. And around that time, I have been an advocate for firearm insurance for a very long time, for decades. People with firearms should, they should come under, if you don't have homeowners insurance that covers it, you should have separate insurance, but firearms should be insured. And the main reason that I want that insurance there's two main reasons. One, most people, when something is insured, would take care to make sure their rates do not go up. So they have to pay when they have to pay for the car insurance, they're like, I'm not, doing this. I'm not gonna have my rates go up. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna have my rates go up. So they're very careful to protect their rates, their money. But the other thing, and this is what bothers me the most, because my family has seen this firsthand. You have a person, like in the case of my cousin, whose son was murdered. And his crime was he broke up a fight. He broke up a fight between people that they all knew each other. He knew them, they knew each other. He broke up the fight. And one of the people who he broke up the fight with shot him. Not then, later, followed him home and shot him at his house on his porch. So, and she had to wind up paying, she had to pay for the funeral for her own son. It's bad enough that her son is dead. It's bad enough that he was shot in front of his own house. It's bad enough that he had a kid that, he was taken care of. He was a pretty decent citizen. He, volunteered. I'm not trying to make him out to be a saint. I'm just, because Nobody's a saint, but he wasn't a troublemaker is what I'm saying. He was good by his kids. He was good by his mom, and if you can do both, I think you're a decent person. If you can be good to your parents and your kids at the same time, I think you're a decent person. I got my first complaint. It is from somebody named Matt who says, "This show sucks. Where's Matt?" Okay, so like I said, I've been an advocate. So she had to pay for the funeral herself, and I think it's bad enough that she lost a son. She's raising her grandkids, and she has to pay for the funeral. So firearm insurance would cover that. That guy, if you have, and let's say he got the gun illegally. Okay, he's still on the hook for the funeral. He's on the hook for the funeral, and if he can't pay for the funeral, the state pays for the funeral, so she does not come out of pocket. The state will pay for the funeral, and he will serve his time until, and he can pay, serve his time, and he's got restitution to pay back. So whatever job he's got in prison, that money is going to, and that, they don't make much money in prison, so he's working basically to pay off the debt of the funeral costs, But if you have a gun and you're insured, that insurance pays for the funeral. That's it. I don't think that the parents, the people who were victims of gun violence, the survivors of gun violence, should have to. Let me take this down till I'm ready to play it, because I'm just being told that black screens don't matter. So. So, like I said, I've been a gun insurance advocate for quite some time. So that's what this bit is. And let me see here. The introduction goes something like this. Yeah. Good morning, Ann in California. Welcome to the show. Ann in California. Caller. Welcome. Okay. The premise. This is the premise of the bid. Do you own a firearm? If there is an incident involving your firearm, will the Second Amendment protect you against unexpected financial loss? It will if it's Second Amendment firearm insurance. Ugh. Okay. The cast, Martin Gecko, John Wick. I can't remember who voiced Martin Gecko. I voiced John Wick. The other members of the cast will be his son, Bailey Wick, and he's voiced by Jason Neeson. And his wife is Dipura Wick. She's an Indian woman. His wife is Dipura Wick, and she is played by Wise. I can't remember her first name. It starts with a C. She plays John Wick's wife, Dipura Wick. All right. So now you have everything. Know everything. Oh, it starts off. The setting is we're in John Wick's home, and he's on the phone calling Martin Gecko of Second Amendment firearm insurance. So here we go. What? I don't understand. Why don't I have something there? Oh my goodness. It looks like, I can't believe this. It looks like my computer screwed me over. That's what that message was. Okay, I'm not gonna have it. I'll see if I can find a separate version, find it separate and bring it in. Because I talked about it, I gotta show it now. Man, what a fuckity fuck. Well, at any rate, I should have caught that. I didn't look at the video after I was done. That's on me. That's on me. I apologize. Um, let's see. It's in 2022, right? 2022. And that's not it. Okay. Boy. Okay, no, I can go on to something else. I just don't want to because here it is. I will load it from here. Okay. There. This is it. I'm going to add this to the stage. Here we go. Second Amendment firearm insurance from Politipod.
Hello, this is Martin Gecko with Second Amendment Firearm Insurance. How may I assist you?
Hi, Martin. This is John Wick. I'm looking for firearm insurance.
Your phone number is coming up as a former client. Before we can begin a new policy, I need to get some information from you. May I record this conversation for our records?
Of course. No problem.
Are your contact information and address still the same?
Yes.
What was the reason for you discontinuing your policy with us?
I came out of retirement, and when I did, the table put me on their insurance. Jay from State Firearm.
And now?
Now I am retired. I have a wife and kid, and so my insurance needs have changed.
How many people are in your home? What are the names and ages?
There are 3 of us. Myself, age 60. My wife, Dip Wick, age 32. Did you get that? My wife's 32. And my son, Bailey Wick, age 16. And my wife's 32.
Oh, I got it.
Are you sure? My wife's 32.
Oh, I'm sure. How do you plan to secure your firearms?
Well, some I will keep in a safe, and the rest I have secured under a slab of concrete in the basement.
Now, how many firearms do you own and what type?
Let's see. I have 1522s, 1745s,
Bailey Wick,
7 AR.
where are you going with that gun?
School.
You are not taking that gun out of this house.
You can't stop me.
Oh, yeah? Try me.
You're not my mother.
No, but I am your mom.
The other kids won't stop teasing me.
Our insurance is not going to go through the roof because you can't resolve conflict like a normal person.
You don't get it, Mom. I am the only kid in school who doesn't have a dog.
Well, you know that we can't have a dog.
Why not?
Every dog that John has ever had winds up dead.
So did his wives, but he has one of those.
What about Rocket? You have Rocket.
A turtle.
He's a tortoise named Rocket. How cool is that?
I'm not taking a turtle, tortoise, to school. And naming him Rocket isn't cool anymore.
Why don't I bake you a cake to take to school for your friends?
Cake? Cake? Why do you hate me?
Hate you? Bailey, I love you, just like all those other parents love their kids. That is why I am not going to let you take a gun to school.
What would Dad do?
Well, that was your father's job, but not anymore.
1 Astra 400, 1 Astra 600, 1 Astra 900.
How do you keep the Astros from sticking?
I use Astra Glide.
Of course.
I also have 3 flamethrowers. I don't know if they're considered firearms. They should be. After all, you are literally armed with fire. If flamethrowers are not firearms, then nothing is a firearm.
So, Mr. Wick, are you back?
I'm thinking I'm back.
Good, sir. Now, I have served. How was my service?
Okay. Thank you for indulging me. That was from I did that for Politipod multiple years ago. 2022. And again, when we do these things, we do them for radio. We did them for radio. They're not anywhere on social media. You know, we play them. They go on the radio, and that's it. Nobody hears from them again. Nobody sees them again. And you know, unless something like I did this, I brought it to life with the magic of overlays. Woohoo! So I'm starting to get in the first pictures from today's show from Heavy Kev, and I will bring them to you shortly, real shortly. Matter of fact, so shortly, I just have to name this file. Name this file, and that's it. Okay. So so far, this is what we have from Heavy Kev. Okay. It is. Let's see here. This first picture is. Today's the 6th, right? Yes. Okay. This first picture is Matt dressed as, well, he's Matt Ross, looking like Bob Ross, teaching children how to paint. That's so cute. And I recognize that painting. I've seen that painting before. I think AI found one of Matt's paintings and put it in the background. Or that's very decent. And his kids are really good. Oh my goodness. It's happy little mountains, happy little trees, anyone can paint. Matt says, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. I think he stole that from Bob Ross. I do. I did not know that Matt was a plagiarist. I didn't know I was friends with a plagiarist. That's I don't know what to say about that. That's sad. I don't usually associate with criminals. So there's one. That's one. And this one here is a rendition of last night's Our Loss in Family Feud. That's not the answer. It's not fair. I demand a recount. Well, I didn't quite cry like that, but I was upset. And I think that's Ryan Gosling. I don't know whose face that is on my shirt. I don't think we had a team called the Know-It-Alls on last night's game, but there we go. Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough loss. I took it personally. And this is it's rendition of Gracie and her 4 kids. There's 5 raccoons here because there's one inside the trash can. So that's cute. That's a really good picture. Really good picture. And the last one that I have here, this is a cute one. One's got my microphone, one's got my cell phone. I don't know if those are the 3 babies and 1 mother. Okay, that's a good one there also. Thank you, Heavy Kev. I appreciate it. Let's get this off of the screen. There. And I'll make room for more pictures. So, hopefully I won't have any other issues like that. But, past couple of times when I had issues, there was something else. This is something totally different. Like the past couple of weeks, my computer was just starting to act up. I mean, just act absolutely crazy. But now I know why. The software that I was using to share the videos, to play the videos that I was sharing on the screen. That's right. The software that I was using to play the videos that I was sharing on the screen from my computer was conflicting with everything else. I couldn't have that open with something else. And it was just wanting to shut everything down. And it was slowly shutting everything down on my computer until it got complete control. but I don't use it anymore. So, but yeah, here we go. So this next thing I have here is, let's see. Okay, this is from Funny Old Farts.
Welcome to Funny Old Farts after.
Okay, so this is the introduction. This is the introduction of Funny Old Farts, and it's basically an improv. It's not the opening that I had planned, but it's the funny old farts is David Yakeley, who was at that time was 78, I think. He hadn't had a birthday yet. His birthday, no, he just had a birthday, so he was 78. I just had a birthday, so I was 66. And I don't know how old Walter Gottlieb is, and Sandy had already, so everybody is talking about the colonoscopies. Everybody before me was talking about colonoscopies, and I didn't write anything about colonoscopy. I didn't write anything about a colonoscopy. So when I started, I just wanted to share a colonoscopy story. And so I didn't rehearse it. It's just a true story that right off the top, from the annals, my colonoscopy story is from the annals of my history. And here we go. From my Funny Old Farts 2025.
Welcome to Funny Old Farts After Dark. I am the dark. I didn't plan on starting with that, but Walter got me started. And I going to do a little cultural appropriation, and I am going to talk about, for just a few minutes, my first colonoscopy, not my last one. My first one. When I got my first colonoscopy, they told me I had to schedule. My doctor said you call and you schedule it yourself. So when I called, I said, "Hi, this is Mr. Fenderson. I'm calling." I said, "I just want you to." I was called to schedule my colonoscopy. They said, "Okay." I said, "But can I do it at home?" I said, "I'd like to do the home kit." And they went, and the lady goes, "I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that." I said, yeah, it does. I said, "I already have my own camera. It's a nice 35mm Yashica. I just need a cable or something to pull it back out. That's all I need." And so the lady, and this is all true. You'll find out that all I do is true stories. She puts me on hold. And I can only assume she did that because she didn't know what to do with the asshole on the phone. And she didn't want to say to me, "You're fucking nuts." So she comes back, she goes, "I don't think that's the way that works." I said, "Oh yeah, I talked to my doctor and I can do it myself and it's cheaper that way." And she goes, "Hold please." Then she comes back and she goes, "You can't do it yourself." I said, "Okay, fine, I'll come in." So I scheduled it. Now when I scheduled it, I went in and I was on the table and they gave me whatever it is they give you to knock you out, and you count backwards from 100, and it's like 100, 99, 97, and the last thing I heard was them laughing. I could feel them pull the robe off my butt, and I heard all this laughter. That's because I put a sticker on my butt. And the sticker said, "You break it, you buy it." So, after it was over with, and I came to, the nurse whispered something in my ear. And my wife was in the room, she goes, "What did the nurse whisper to you?" And I said, "The nurse said, it was already cracked."
All right. That's a true story. Now, when I know I'm going to tell that story, it's a lot smoother. But when I'm just telling it off the top of my head, I'm trying to think, well, what can I cut to make this? I don't remember the punchlines or the extra stuff that I put in there, and so I'm stumbling for words like this because I don't know what I'm going to say, and I stumble for words. I'm trying to get through this. That may just also be the way I talk. Thank you for asking. You see, my lip is a lot less swollen today. If you screen capture today And screen capture yesterday, going back Monday, you can see that every day my lip is getting less and less swollen, but it's still sore. If I show you up underneath, you can still see the redness up underneath. It's still irritating. It's irritated. And I think that's just still like dry and it's still trying to get its moisture back. I'm not exactly sure, but I got the stuff that helps lubricate and keep germs out and stuff like that. And I'm taking antibiotics, but I'm not doing any oxycodone. I have it, but I'm not using it. I'm just dealing with the pain. And right now it's not pain so much as it's like a constant ache right now, a nagging ache. But it doesn't, before, like my head's a little bit warmer. So it felt like, before I felt like I had the flu. Like my head was warm. I was feeling fluish. So that's it. So thank you for asking. My mouth is on the verge of mending. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, it's just nothing worse than dental issues, and I think there could be, but it's when it's in your head like that, it affects like everything. It gives you, it's rough, yeah. And like I said, I showed you guys. Oh, I don't have it in here; it's in the other room. I tried to show you guys the tooth the other day, the one that they took out. Oh man, I can't imagine. I'd have to try to put that back in. It's because it's shattered. I had a root canal 40 years ago, and the thing that they put in my mouth as I guess a placeholder in the root canal, initially what it is, it turned my teeth gray. And so I had to take it. Well, anyway, I wound up getting veneers. Now this one here is the one that's where the achy. No, this is it. This is the one that's still sore and sensitive right here. And it's a temporary. There's a screw up in there. Like I said, the doctor screwed my mouth, and this is attached to the screw. And they're waiting for like some of the bone to graft to the screw. I think that's it. Yeah, because they screwed it in. So I guess the bone has to graft to the screw, and some of the bone, and then so in about 2 months, maybe 3 months, I'll go back and they will take this one out, and then they'll put the permanent one, my forever tooth, up in there. So there. Now, I talked about this. I talked about a show that I had done that I produced. Initially, when I wrote it with Ron. I only had one person I wanted to host it when I first wrote it. When I first did it, when I first had the idea for the show, I reached out to Ron Kane and I said, Ron, this is the show I want to do. And I called it Rowdy initially because I wanted Ron to host it. I called it Ron's Rowdy Runway. And the object was the object is that all the comedians on the show are selling something. They all have something to sell. Hopefully it's like t-shirts, have t-shirts to sell. And so when the show starts, when in this case, Ron is the host, when he introduces the comedian, he comes out wearing their shirt or whatever it is that they have, shirt, shorts, hats, and they walk around the audience like it's a fashion show and they show the shirts off, and so that's the first part of it. And then Ron just riffs over top of, while the person's out there doing their walk. And then the comedian, when they're done walking around, does their set. Now, I put this up here for two reasons. This next piece I'm playing is for two very specific reasons. One is I just want to show people the the Rowdy Runway thing with the introduction. And then I do a bit that I can find like 5 other times I've done it, video from it, and people are laughing. I think 3 other times, because I haven't done it that many times. I've only done it, I think I've done it 4 times. And people are like laughing, cracking up. And this time, no one is laughing. Not one laugh do I get until maybe toward the end. And not even the very end, but close to the end. There's like 30 seconds left. I get a laugh, I think. And I'm going with the bit. I just keep going, and I'm going to play it for you. Just because, and I hope that's not as painful for you as it seems, because I still think the material is funny. They just didn't. And so I'm hoping that you think it's funny. All right, let's see here. All right, so it's going to be, Ron introduces me. I'm going to walk around the audience doing my fashion show walk, showing them the shirt. And then once I take the stage, I'm going to skip ahead to the bit that's not getting any laughs. Okay. And I think this is like a total of 4 minutes. Hopefully you won't suffer as much as the audience did. Here we go.
All right. Are you ready for our final comic of the evening, everybody? To put all of this together. All the way from Westminster, Maryland, please welcome Jeannie Fenderson. As you can see, Jeannie Fenderson is wearing a hat with a face on it with 2 sides. That's what it looks like when he comes. So please buy his cum face hats. If you like to be cummed on, that's the hat you want. Like if you're out of a coffee party, somebody might look at you and say, I like your shirt that says Sudi G funny, but that face, I want to cum all over it. No one's coming on anyone's face. Good job, GD. As you can tell, GD is a little different from the rest of the comics. He has dreadlocks. Nice mask. And you can catch him at his Eyed Wide Shut party with Tom Cruise. And if you know about Tom Cruise, he loves to strangle out people. So please, give it up for Jeannie Fenderson.
Before we got to get to the cruise, we had to fly to Seattle for the cruise. Now, for the record, I'm not afraid of planes, and I'm not afraid of flying. I'm afraid of heights. Okay, technically, falling from heights is what I'm afraid of. So if an airplane can go from Baltimore, BWI to Seattle at about 10 to 15 feet off the ground, I'm fine with it, you know? No problem, no tension whatsoever. It's when it gets above 100 feet that I get a little nervous. Now, because of that, I tried to do a little bit of research because, well, we were flying on a boing jet, okay? Yeah, boing, that's it. We were flying on one of those. And so I was extremely nervous because a few years ago on Boeing, they were killing a lot of people. There was like several hundred people a year, literally several hundred people a year dying on Boeing jets. Okay, it's not so bad now. It's not so bad now. They cleaned up their act. And I know what happened. I had to do some research. Back when they were killing people, the CEO back then was what they call a venture capitalist. Now, if you don't know what a venture capitalist is, they're the people that go into a healthy company and then they start selling off parts for more profit. So like if Boeing was a cow, if it was a cow, they'd go in and first they sell the skin. And then they start selling the meat. Then they start selling the fat. And then they sell the organs. And the only thing left are the bones. For those of you who took earth science, bones can't fly. That's why their jets are falling. Bones cannot fly. Now, and their philosophy was, well, any good business thrives on repeat customers. But if you're killing your customers, they're not going to take a second flight. You're going to lose your repeat business because they're dead. That's it. They fly once and they're done. That's it. Bad business model. So that CEO had to go to get a new CEO. The new CEO worked for an amusement park. I don't know this for a fact, I'm only looking at the evidence. And that's because when you go to an amusement park, the rides are supposed to be scary, but safe. And that's what happens with Boeing now. Okay, they're just like an amusement park ride. Get on the plane, you're sitting there, and you're taxiing. It's not so bad. And you start to elevate a little bit. There you go. You get to altitude, and all of a sudden, yeah, this is not so bad. This is not so bad. All right. Then you hear the captain speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're about to hit turbulence. Oh shit! Okay, but it's scary, but it's safe. They're used to this. They're trained for this. They're professionals. Turbulence happens all the time. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you get a little race to the heart, just like a little joke on a roller coaster. Oh yeah, that's it. Then all of a sudden, 10,000 feet, bam! Door flies off. It's like, oh shit, the door blew off! But nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody falls out the plane. You know why? Because before they take off, remember what the stewardess said? The stewardess says, everyone please fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. So, when the door flies off, everybody says, like, oh shit, you see that? Oh my God, the door just flew off the thing. And everybody goes, okay, oh man, this is exciting. Whew. I feel exhilarated. Oh my God, and bam, fuck a wheel just fell off. You see that? A wheel just, it's okay, we got 17 more. We're fine, we got 17 more wheels. We're good, we're professionals. We know what we're doing. And you go, oh yeah, shit, okay, good. Bam, the wings on fire. Holy fuck, the wings on fire. It's like, all right, we got you. We got two, we're fine, we'll be fine. And then the plane lands, and it's like, oh man, that was scary, fun. I can't wait till we fly again. Oh Lord. And then as you're getting off the plane, he say, you want to take your picture? $20, please.
The fuck you want. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that was that. Like I said, I've done it before. It could have been my delivery. I've done it smoother, but the fewer the laughs I got, it's like my brain starts going, I don't understand. The premise works. You know, people have laughed before, but not this time. I don't know. Anyway, so I want to share that with you because I know that quite often people show their bits. They show all the good stuff. It's like never the bad stuff. And it's not, see, I don't do this. This part here says G explains his jokes. I'm not quite doing this for promotion or self-promotion or anything like that. I'm trying to kill time. Okay, and I'm trying to kill time with stuff that's not going to get Matt copyright strikes. So I'm trying to show stuff that I know that I can get away with showing, and that's stuff of me, you know. It's top of the hour. I'm gonna play the news. I'm gonna play the news and get something to drink. And when I get back, I will continue with the torture of showing stuff that makes people go, okay, news. This is a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, August 6, 2026, the 564th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Federal aviation officials are reviewing an air traffic safety incident involving Trump's Marine One helicopter, which took off from the White House on the afternoon of August 4th, but air traffic controllers had not halted commercial flights at National Airport in Washington as required under safety protocols. Trump's helicopter came really close to hitting nothing, and Trump was not in any danger, but we had to hear about it anyway. Donald Trump confronted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at Camp David last week over a munition shortage that could limit Trump's military options in the Iran war. Hegseth had blamed his deputy, Stephen Feinberg, for the shortages and for not making sure Trump was fully informed of the issue. Hegseth was so quick to throw Feinberg under the bus, I thought Hegseth was the Secretary of Transportation. Gary Glitter, the 82-year-old former pop star, whose real name is Paul Gadd, appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court on Wednesday, charged with unlawful sexual intercourse with a girl under 13 and 3 counts of indecent assault on the same girl under 14 between 1978 and 1981, when the girl was between the ages of 8 and 11. He was 23 years her senior. A spokesperson for Gary Glitter said it sounds so much worse when you hear a judge say it. A Mexican influencer, Cesar Gastelum, was shot dead on Tuesday while streaming live on social media outside a restaurant in Sinaloa State, where cartel and gang violence is rife. 600,000 followers, and Gastelum couldn't talk a gunman out of shooting him? Some influencer. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, August 6, 2026. The 564th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV. Viva the Revolution! All right, that's the news. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Gave me time to upload a couple more pictures from Kevin, New Zealand. This is when I was showing you my teeth. This is a close-up, extreme close-up. I'm sorry, people on the radio, you can't see this. This is a rendition of me showing them my teeth, my smile, and I don't know the style of the artwork, but my mouth is way bigger than the rest of my head. And this is this same theme, but it's more of a cartoonish look. Now, I actually have that mirror, and I have that pick, but it's 2 separate devices. I don't have the pick and the mirror on one end, because you're supposed to use the mirror to look inside your mouth so you can see where you're picking. You can't do both with this. But I guess AI has never performed dentistry before. So, yeah. Thank you, Kev. I appreciate it. Let's get that out of my way. This next bit, let me see, what is it? See if I have a clue. Okay, I got it. No. No. Don't do it yet. Okay. I do song parodies, and I cannot play any of the song parodies on here because we'll get copyright strikes, because the music is not mine, it's other people's music. And even though I'm not that great of a guitarist, the computers that analyze the stuff still recognize it and go, oh no, that's 9 to 5. Oh no, that's Why Can't We Be Friends by War. Oh no. And so we get the issues. So, but what I can do is I'm going to play the introductions to the songs. In other words, whenever I do a song, I usually tell the audience how I went about writing the song, or what was the impetus for the song. So, for example, I think I've done this a few times. I'm pretty sure I've already played this before, so I'm not this that I'm about to play, but what I'm about to say to you, I'm pretty sure I've played, but I can't because of the copyright strike. So I don't think I have done that. At any rate, the song that I'm going to play, or the song that I'm about to play for the audience, is 9 to 5. Yeah. But my version is I'm Retired. Now, if you want to see the lyrics, you can go to my website, sogdfunny.com, and go to the menu, and there's a thing called the Karaoke Songbook. You go to the Karaoke Songbook, and you can find the lyrics to my song parodies. I think to all but 2, and I'm going to put them up. The 2 newest ones I don't think are on there yet. but they'll be on there shortly. And I'm missing one, so I gotta fix that. But other than that, everything else is on there. It's on the website. So this, I'm explaining to the audience about 9 to 5, or about this song, the song parody for 9 to 5. The parody is called I'm Retired. Okay, here we go.
A little bit about me being retired. One of the things that people, when they retire, one of the things they get worried about is what they're going to do after they retire. And I've been somewhat busy. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, I just finished helping to shoot 2 episodes of a pilot for television or wherever they're going to show it. Yeah, and I spent most of my time behind the scenes. I was an assistant gaffer, or what the industry calls an ass gaff. I'm pretty sure that's what they're officially called, ass gaffs. I know ass gaff sounds like something like you were in the bathroom or in an elevator and you had an ass gaff. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but being retired, one of the things is, matter of fact, I ran into a friend of mine who was like a month away from retirement. We ran into each other in the street and we talked for about 5 or 10 minutes. And because I saw him away from work, I could not remember his name. Because I know his name at work, but we were outside of that. And we talked for 5 or 10 minutes. He kept saying, and he kept calling me by name, my real name, my birth name. So he knows me, and I knew where I knew him from. He kept saying, and he would start off all his sentences. Well, Glenn, blah, 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 blah. Well, Glenn, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I can't remember his name. And he goes, we should exchange phone numbers. I went, great. So I put the phone number in, and I don't have a name to go with that phone number. So I put the phone number under guy I used to work with. And so I'm walking away, and he says something to me, and I went, oh, that's just like Phil. Phil. So then I went back to Phil, but it took me another week to figure out his last name. So he was like Phil for the longest time in my phone book. Now, I mentioned that because I was on set, and I had to learn a bunch of names for the crew. The cameraman, the guy who ran cameras, his name was Steve. The gaffer, the guy that I assisted, his name was Berlin. The assistant director, his name was Alex. The director, his name is Keith. The script supervisor's name was Hannah. The makeup person's name is Becky. And I'm going through all these things, and I'm talking to this one guy who runs sound. And we talked for about 5 minutes. And again, he's calling me Glenn, and I can't remember his name. I said, I can't remember the sound guy's name. And God. And I want to be polite. I want to say, yeah, whatever. And I couldn't. And somebody else called him, and I got to hear his name. The sounds guy's name was Mike. I know. I was like, they couldn't be more on target. Like, how could I? That's the only name I couldn't remember. Is the guy whose name described the equipment he works with.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. Yeah, usually what happens, like, so before I do a song, I just tell a short story so that people have an idea what I'm writing about, or what prompted the song. Now, actually, the story I told is not the reason why I wrote the song. I was hired to do a retirement party, and I was doing an hour, and I decided, since I was doing a retirement party, I was going to do a song parody of 9 to 5, and I just made it I'm Retired. And maybe I'll read the words instead of sing them. I won't, if I don't sing them, and people know that it's to the tune of 9 to 5. I'll try, if I can find the lyrics easily enough, I'll do that a little bit later if I need the time. So I wrote that song for a retirement party, and I'd only performed it 3 times in public, I think. I practiced it at a couple of open mics, but I've only done it as a show 3 times. At that point, for the retirement party itself, and twice on the cruise ship. And twice on the cruise ship. And one comedian liked it so much that she asked me if she could do that song in her set. And I said, sure. I mean, we're not real popular comedians. I'm not even mid-level. I am like so low that sometimes I wouldn't book me. Okay. And she's like in roughly the same thing, but we're in two different things. She's a comedian, but she wasn't going to use it in her comedy set. She wanted to use it at karaoke night. She did karaoke all the time. So she wanted to use my lyrics for her karaoke. Now, the problem is when I wrote it like the real 9 to 5, which I think has 4 or 5 verses. But the karaoke version has one less verse. Whatever the number is, the karaoke version has one less verse than the actual 9 to 5 version. So when I sent her the lyrics, I sent her the whole thing. And then I said, but when you do the karaoke, you're probably only going to have 4 verses. So delete this verse. And I gave that to help her out so that she wouldn't be caught trying to, because to resolve the song, you have to get to the last verse resolves the song. And so I just took out one of the middle verses. So that way, when she got to the end of the song, it would still be resolved. Because it's kind of like a story, about being retired. Now, I forgot what this next one is already. Oh, Progress. Right. Now, I've probably played parts that go before it. I probably played parts that go after it. This one is called Progress. And basically, I'm explaining, I just finished, in the show itself, I just finished explaining about my wife can't kill me because I'm too fat. And if she tries to kill me, she has to get rid of the body, and she can't get rid of the body by herself, which means she's going to have help. And if she has help, she has witnesses. That's what the part before this is. And so we're going to pick it up right after the fact that we find out that my wife wants to kill me, but she can't. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I'm 99% sure. And this is from the Disillusionist 2018.
The fact that my wife wants to kill me just shows us how much we've grown as a couple. Yeah. See, when we first got together, she said to me, promise me that you won't die first, because I don't think I can live without you. Aww. Yeah, sweet. Naive. But sweet. But the beauty is, right now, she's willing to try to live without me. I look at the bright side. She has grown so much as a person that she's willing to kill me because she can live without me now. Yes, that's progress. I feel good about that. But I made the promise. I made that promise to my wife. So if the doctor says to me, Mr. Fenderson, you have 6 months to live, my wife has 5.5. Sorry, I'm just keeping a promise. That's all. I didn't want to have that promise.
Okay. It's fun. I still think it's funny, and it's still true. Although I don't think my wife expects me to keep that promise now, because now it's like a race. Who's going to live longer now? It's a competition. We've gone from romance to competition. That's the phase of every relationship. It's like, I love you. Oh, I want to beat you at everything now. So, let's see here. Yeah, that was from the Disillusionist. And is that the one? No, that's not the one that Blind Mike and them are looking at. I think they're looking at Psychomedy 101, shoulda, coulda, woulda, told. No, the jokes less traveled. Psychomedy 101, the jokes less traveled. That's what they're looking at. And that one was recorded during COVID. So, yeah, I did like 5 shows to prepare for that, but during COVID. So that was a rough show, but I planned it way before. Yeah, sorry about the interruption. That was an internet interruption. I apologize. We really thought COVID was going to be over by that time because I booked it way in advance. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. COVID's still going on. And it was a 400-seat theater, but they said we can only put 80 people in here so that we could social distance. So there was no way I was going to get my money back. I booked the theater. So they gave me half off of what I was paying for the theater. So they gave me they reduced the theater rate because it was during COVID. And this way they could still put on a production of something because people weren't producing live shows. So, and we produced a live show, but even then, the food section wasn't open, which I didn't think about per se. I mean, they had like vending machines there, but they didn't have the cafeteria part, the cafe part where they served the real food. That was not open because of COVID. That was rough. Okay, so this next one is, let me see, what is it? Oh, okay. All right. Right, this is another song parody. I don't do the song parody. I'm just telling you the introduction to the song. Okay. The song that I'm parodying is by War, and it's called Why Can't We Be Friends? And my version of it is called That's Why We Ain't Friends. Yeah, and basically the song goes through all the reasons why I can't be friends with this person or these people. And so I'm telling an introduction to that story. Telling an introduction to that song. And it's from Parodies, Nutsy Jokes and Songs. It's something I did on plausible.com. And that was a really rough show for me. I mean, we had technical issues right on up. I wasn't even sure we were going to be able to go on with that show. Because to do a plausible show, I'm running one computer, but 3 pieces of software at one time. And one of the pieces of software, OBS, had to get upgraded. And when I did, it stopped talking to it fucked up everything. And we were literally working on it up until like 20 minutes before the show. We didn't cancel the show. We kept thinking, we're going to get this, we're going to get this, we're going to get this. And I was working on it from my end, and the people from, excuse my hiccups, Plausible, Brian is such a great guy. And the technical, first of all, I want to sing Plausible's praises. They do such good work over there. And the technical help, Brian is their tech guy, and he's really, really good, really phenomenal. And he was working his ass off to help us get this resolved. So between the two of us, it was like 3 or 4 different solutions that we had to come up with. And I think he came up with 1 or 2, and I came up with 1 or 2. And so between the two of us, we got the thing going 20 minutes before the show starts. But I was flustered by that point. I was flustered. I didn't do my routine. Not my routine. Like I have a ritual that I do before every show, and I didn't do my ritual. It was rough. It was rough. But people laughed, and I guess someone who produces shows could notice the hiccups and stuff. But the people in the room were having a good time, and which kind of reinforces something that a friend of mine said to me. He goes, you're not funny. People laugh because they like you. And I think that night things were going wrong, but because people liked me, they were laughing at the stuff that was still funny. And they could have just said, well, this show is a disaster. All this stuff is going wrong, and not enjoy the funny parts. But the funny parts they still laughed at. So I commend them for it. So this is the introduction to That's Why We Ain't Friends.
This is the one I thought of. Actually, I was in the car with my wife. We were driving down the street, and it came on the radio. The actual song came on the radio, and I thought to myself, what was it? It's War. I'm looking at my wife like she's supposed to know. The song is War, and it's called Why Can't We Be Friends? But I have a little bit different take on that, because sometimes you know why you can't be friends. The other day I was in a parking lot. I ran into a guy I used to work with. And we were talking, I'm not going to say his name, so if somebody could just give me a name so I can do this right. Just holler out a man's name.
Phil.
Okay, another Phil. Okay, Phil. It wasn't Phil, but okay. But that's the whole point. Okay, so I'm in the park and I'm talking to Phil. And we were probably talking about, I don't know, I'm trying to think here, 5 or 10 minutes. And it got to the point where we ran out of words. And then 1 second passes, 2 seconds passes, 3 seconds pass, and then I start to think to myself, this is a good time to say goodbye. As I open my mouth to say goodbye, he opens his mouth and he says, I don't like awkward pauses. It makes me think like I should kiss or something.
Oh!
Right? Yes! And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that wasn't an awkward pause until you said that. It was just a pause. Okay, I don't know when it became awkward for him, but to me it was just a pause. It's like, I don't like awkward pauses. It makes me feel like I need to kiss. I'm like, everybody? Anybody? We're in a parking lot. You know, why can't you have like an awkward pause in the parking lot without thinking about sex? I don't know. But that's why we can't be friends. That's why you and I can't be friends. So, but there are other reasons why people can't be friends.
All right. Yeah, I do remember the guy. I do know the guy's name. That guy, I do remember his name. But I'm not going to say it because actually, he and I were good friends when I worked at Random House. And no, I'm not going to mention by name, but everybody knew that he was not an attractive guy. But he wound up dating one of the most attractive women in the company, in our building, about like 1,500 people. There were a lot of attractive young women there, but he wound up dating one of the cutest ones. And he did it by endurance. You know, she was dating another guy and he just played the friend card, and he went all out friend. And because he knew that at some point the other guy's going to mess up and he's going to be there to comfort her. And sure enough, the other guy messed up and my friend swooped in. He comforts her, and he's there, and he waits it out. He waits it out until eventually they're dating. Then they're moving together, and they're living together. And then they break up, he says, because she's a whore. So, so I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him since that incident in the parking lot. Since that incident was the last time I saw him. Now, what's the next thing? Let me see here. Oh, okay. I got it. Really? Oh, yeah. This is fun. This show, The Disillusionist, as well. The Disillusionist, I'll say this to help for anyone who doesn't know. When I did The Disillusionist, the show itself was in 3 stages. The first stage, the first 15 minutes or so, was me playing me as an unborn child. I'm addressing the audience. I'm doing the show from my mother's womb. So I keep sticking my head out of a mock vagina to talk to the audience because I'm not sure I want to be born. It's 2018, and I'm not sure about the administration. So I don't want to. I'm not sure I want to be born into this country at that time in 2018. Act 2 is I'm born. I'm a young man. I've had a life. I've lived some, and or it's not even the same person. Just I guess it would be an alternate universe. I guess, but it's me in 2018 as an adult. And then Act 3, I'm dead, not from COVID, although in 2018 that could have been the cause of death. I don't know. No, we didn't have COVID. I don't think we had COVID yet in 2018. No, because there was no protocol in that. No, we didn't have COVID yet. Now, my cousin, that was probably one of the last shows of mine that he did see. He didn't because he wasn't there for the next one, which was Psychomedy 101. The Jokes Less Traveled. That was the one I shot after that, which was like 2 years later, I think. It may have been more because COVID threw it off a year and the whole bit. So this is the call I'm waiting for. Please? Okay. All right, guys, this is the call I was waiting for. I am going to put in my interview, the second part of my interview with Jennifer Lieberman, and I should be back shortly. And bye now. I mean, not bye. Don't say bye. So hope you enjoy. Enjoy. What's up? What's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we discuss the arts, science, and business of comedy with comedians and comedian adjacent. With this episode, I'll apologize for the delay. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist and host of Done Way Past Funny. Thank you for joining us as we continue our interview with comedian, actress, writer, producer, and author Jennifer Lieberman. Enjoy. Now, this is okay. So we're talking about MakeYourOwnBreak.com. Well, Make Your Own Break. That's the name of the company. Make Your Own Break. Your website is MakeYourOwnBreak.com. You offer consulting and you offer workshops. In the consulting, it says, let me check my notes. Production consulting for film and for theater. Yes, I said theater. Yes, I said theater. Sorry, just in case somebody say he didn't say theater, he said theater, right? Because that's how I talk sometimes.
That's okay, and I say theater.
And you also do workshops, independent theater productions, and solo shows. So I guess we can talk about the consulting portion first.
Sure. So yes, I work both in film and theater. So my solo show was a stage piece. And like I said, I used to run a theater company in the East Village, and I produced several off Broadway productions there. And then I produced the solo shows for friends in LA before I did my own. And yeah, I've continued to have one foot in the theater. I did a solo show in Australia. I continue to do theater. I never stopped doing theater. But I also do film and on-screen work. So I produced a web series called Dump Water Divas, which is like one of my favorite things I've ever done. And that's on YouTube. It was a total failure. Like nobody watched it. Nobody signed up. Nobody was interested. But that's okay, because that's the thing with art. You just have to like bleed your soul onto the page or the screen or the stage. And some people get it, and a lot of times they don't. And a lot of times people don't show up. And the reality of being a creative is you're going to have way more failures than successes. Way more. Like now, way more. And you just have to be okay with that. And as long as you have fun doing it and you get something out of the process, it was a success.
Yes.
And so for me, Dump Water Divas was a wild success, even though it never succeeded. Like, I had the best time. I got to create my crazy characters. I wrote it with a writing partner. We cast actors who took it to a level of absurdity we never even dreamed it would go. Like, it was just so great. And then I have several short films that I've written and produced and starred in. And I've won some awards. I've gotten to go to international festivals. 2 of my projects screened at the Cannes Film Festival in the Short Film Corner. So like when I said, like, I wear a lot of hats. So not only can I help people with their theater stuff, I can also help them with their film stuff, because I do that too. And, you know, I'm currently in development with a feature film. I've made several shorts. I've made a web series. Feature film is a bigger beast because it takes a lot more money and a lot more manpower. My short films I was able to do for a few $1,000s, get a lot of stuff donated, get people to work for half their rate or free, and just do it in a day or two. And it's a lot easier to get people to donate their time for a day or two than, you know, 20 days of shooting and 20 days of equipment and 20 days, you know, and then months of editing and hours of music. And, you know, so I do have a feature, and that'll be my next, you know, my next big thing that I'm working towards. So yeah, so I consult with all of that stuff, and script development for features as well. I do budgets and production schedules for features too, because I've associate produced a feature and I put the schedule and the budget and everything together for that. And I have experience with it. So kind of all over the place, but all in the same kind of swimming pool.
Now, when it comes to budget, a friend of mine who's done a few films says that when you have $1 to make a movie, you actually do not have $1 to make a movie. He goes, he says, if you're really good, what you will do is take that, you will spend 96, if you can spend 96 cents to make that $1, to make that movie look like you spent $1, you're golden. And the less money that you spend, but still make it look like that you put the whole $1 in, the better off you are. And it's a skill. It's a skill set. So where did you learn that skill set?
Oh, great question.
Did you have it? Did you have it before you started producing, or did you realize, wait a second, this $1, I need $1.50. I got to find out where I'm going to get another 50 from. If I can do this for 75 cents, you know. So where'd you learn that skill set?
So when I started producing, I had no idea what I was doing, and I just didn't have the money. Like, I just didn't. And I just kind of learned as I went. I got sponsors, you know, I was able to find sponsors to, you know, put ads in our program and scrape together a little bit of money that way. The theater company I was part of in New York, we were a resident artist group at a larger company who had space. So we were donated all of our rehearsal time for free. And we were given the performance space for free, but on a contingency. They took the first 12 tickets of every show, and every ticket beyond that, we split 50-50. Okay. So that's when you're doing theater, that's one of the biggest expenses, is you have an upfront cost of paying thousands of dollars for your theater space, and then another upfront cost of paying thousands of dollars for your rehearsal space.
Yes.
Excuse me. The fact that we were able to get our performance space and rehearsal space for free, and they only took money off of the back end, is what allowed us to exist.
Right.
So that was major. So that was a big lesson too, of, you know, getting partners, getting in-kind donations, getting deferred getting people to work for deferred payments. And yeah, most of my stuff, like everybody for the most part worked for free or minimal. Like when we did Dump Water Divas, the only person, the cinematographer got paid, the editor got paid, and our sound team got paid. I got the music for free from one of my friends. The director did it for free because he was happy to come on board. Once again, it was a 2-day shoot. We shot 6 episodes, 6 10-minute episodes in 2 days.
Wow.
And the cast, everybody worked for free. And we were able at the time, because the new media contract with the Screen Actors Guild was so new, that we were able to Taft-Hartley every single person who worked on the production as an actor. So basically we had a bunch of people who were not union, and we got them their union status through a Taft-Hartley contract. So for a lot of actors in LA, like getting in the union is a several year process.
Yeah.
So the fact that all of our actors and our extras, we were able to get into the union was a huge incentive for everybody to like come for free. And we fed everybody. I think the bulk of the budget went to feeding all these people. Because even if you're not paying people, you got to feed them properly. We were there for 12 hours a day, and it was a dance spoof. So people were dancing and sweating and, so we did feed them properly. And I just kind of led with that attitude of, this is all I have. This is all I have to make it with. And I'm going to make it no matter what, and if I can get better people to come on for free or come on for deferred or whatever, great. And, I wasn't trying to raise 20 or 30 or 40 or $50,000 to do a short film, because I knew these short films were just calling cards for festivals. They weren't going to go on to become features. They weren't going to be able to monetize in any way. I was hoping, that the web series would go viral or would be able to monetize a little bit on YouTube. But we made that whole project for like $2,000. I think every single project I made for about $2,000. And, including my solo show, at least per run, right? Each time I have to rent a theater and do a new mounting and pay a new director. That's another story. But yeah, at this point, I haven't done much. And it's true. It's all about calling in your favors. And if you have a project that other people believe in and that other people think is good and that they want their name on, it's a lot easier to get people on board, right?
Yes.
So like my short film Leash, I approached a female director who actually directed a play that I was a production consultant on, and she liked the idea, she liked the script. And I also said to her, I want to do an all-female principal team. I want a female cinematographer, female editor, female director. I'm a female writer, producer. Like, I want to do a whole female team. And that was really appealing to her. So that kind of extra element is what inspired her to come on board and bring on a cinematographer and bring on an editor. So I was like, what do they say? Like punching above my weight.
Yeah.
Because I had something of value that other people wanted to be a part of. And I think that's one of the big things. It's like, even though these are my projects and they're my calling card or, my vehicle, they also have to serve to be somebody else's vehicle. And the more people who can have ownership over the project, and that's the thing with these creative projects, whose film is it? Well, the director says, my film. The cinematographer says, my film. The editor says, my film. The actors say, my film. The producers say, my film. The writer says, my film. Every single person, because it's such a collaboration, has ownership on the project. And as long as these people are jazzed about the project, they're enthusiastic, they feel like they're showcasing something worthwhile that they might not have had the opportunity to be a part of before. Maybe they get to stretch themselves in a way that they don't normally get cast, or it's a subject matter they just really like the script. You know, if you're offering somebody ownership of something they can be proud of, that's a really big incentive. And I think that's like the good place to start.
All right, that was part of my interview with Jennifer Lieberman from Done Way Past Funny. The entire interview has been edited. I just haven't uploaded it to the different places where you can view it. I will do that later today. So it will be available soon on YouTube, Knob TV, and Spark TV. So that's, again, Jen Lieberman, Done Way Past Funny, my interview with her. And the next one up not next one up here, the next Done Way Past Funny is with Matt Evans. And I'm editing that right now. Not right now. Right now I'm here. So, damn it. I got a message. Sorry about that. There's another technical glitch. It just skipped around and I'm back. Let's see what's next on the, let's see what's next.
When I get older, I don't want to live too long.
Oh, okay. I remember. I got this. Okay. I know what this one is now. Let me back it up. Let me see if I can find the, there we go. This piece is called, I call this Yoda just for this. I don't remember what it's actually called in the show. But again, the middle part of the show of The Disillusionist, I'm talking about getting older and getting to choose what kind of an old person I want to be. But also that I don't want to live so long that I become a burden. And I think this is the beginning of that part. And there's some scripted parts, there's some improv parts, and you could probably tell the difference. If it sounds like I should have just shut the fuck up, that's the improv. So here we go. This is from The Disillusionist 2018, and this section is called Yoda.
I know when I get older, I don't want to live too long. I don't want to be so old that people just wish I was dead or that they assume I'm dead. You know, I don't want to be like Harrison Ford, who's like in the 70s and still like flying airplanes into things that aren't airports. You know, because he still thinks Chewbacca is his co-pilot and Star Wars was real. Now, I want to be like Yoda. See, Yoda died and everybody missed him. He died a young 700-year-old Jedi. And everybody missed him. There were grown men in the theaters crying because Yoda died. And if I have to go, I want to go like Yoda. See, if Yoda had lived too long, he'd have become an old, drunken, retired Jedi. Going from cantina to cantina, starting fights. It had gotten so bad that his wife would have taken his lightsaber and given him a flashlight with no batteries. And he'd just be out walking in cantinas. Tell me you're looking for. Tell me you have found, I say. And when he got really drunk, he would like start quoting movies. Say hello to my little friend, I say. Hello. I am Inigo Montoya. My father did. The Breakfast Diamond. Yeah, Miss Yoda? Yeah, he's at it again. Yeah. Yeah, could you come get your husband? Yeah, I wish it was a flashlight. Now I'm expecting my customers with a Wookiee dildo. Oh, the force is strong with this one. Okay. So, Heavy Kev says, I'm already a burden. I don't care. I've paid my dues to kids and humanity. They owe me. And I get that. I think that's why some people have kids, so that when they become old enough and have a burden, someone says, look, I've done my part to help you, now you help me. I know that when I was a stepfather, my first time around, second time around, when I was married to, I don't want to say her name, but my stepdaughter, Danielle, at one point she said to me, she says, Dad, you're so much nicer to me than Mom. Why? And I didn't want to give her the real answer, which is, your mother's a cunt. I didn't want to say that to her. This is the answer I gave her. Which is the other truth, because I have a pact with children. I'm not going to lie to the children. I'm not going to tell them the entire truth, because the entire truth is not beneficial to them. Like I said, she didn't need to know that her mother was a real cunt. So I told her, the reason why I'm nicer to you than your mother is because I'm not your natural father. And I want you to love me as though I were your natural father. And so I'm trying extra hard to be that dad for you. I want to be the dad, the father. I want to be all those good things for you. And I also know that as a young girl, when you get older, you're going to start dating people based on your father's model, which is me. You're going to look at guys and you're either going to do one or two things. You're going to say, I love my dad. I'm going to marry someone or date someone just like my dad. And if that's your standard, I want to be the best person I can be so that you wind up with the best person you can have. On the other hand, sometimes they go like, I'm not going to marry anyone like my dad. And if you do that, you're going to have to go real deep, find someone who is like, they're going to be so awful that you're going to have to figure out your life choices, because they're going to be so awful if they're not like me, because I'm going to be so wonderful to you. And the other reason why I'm good to you is because at some point your mother and I are going to grow old. And at that point, I assumed we're going to grow old together. Boy, was I wrong. At some point, your mother and I are going to grow old, and we're going to need somebody to make sure we get our medications. That'll probably be you. And so if I'm good to you now, you will make sure that I get my medicine first, because you're only going to have so many hours in a day. You're not going to have time to take care of both of us properly. So you're going to take care of me a little bit better than you're going to take care of your mom. That was the reason I gave her. Not the first one, that her mother was a real bitch. Oh, man, she was. Oh, Lord. And the funny thing is, YouTube found a woman with the same name as that wife, and they keep suggesting her as a friend to me. It's not her, but they got the same name. And they keep saying, you may know this person, and I don't know this person. And I think that, and I'm not certain about this, but if they send me someone that they think I might know, I think they also send that other person a thing that says they might know me. Now, this other person is probably going, why would they think I know him? He's in Maryland, I'm in Connecticut. We're like two totally different socioeconomic classes. I would never be talking to someone like that. And I want to reach out to her, explain to her why why that you're seeing my face in your things of people you might know. And that's because my ex-wife and her have the same name. And for some reason, Facebook thinks I want to be friends with my ex-wife. I don't even want to know where her body is. I don't know whether she's alive or dead.
wherever it is. I don't know if she's alive. I don't care where her body is. If she's dead, I don't care where her body is. I do care about Danielle. All right. So this one here is, I forgot what it's called already. This next one is, I forgot. Oh. Okay. This thing called COVID, right? This thing called COVID. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what it's called. I mean, I forgot. Damn it. Okay. Well, I'm going to add it to the stage and see if I can find the beginning of this. Dogs and guns. That's what this is. Dogs and guns.
There's this thing called COVID.
Okay. I'll just play it. It's dogs and guns, and it's the precursor to me talking about COVID and the shortage of animal food, pet food in stores. There's the precursor to that, and that's a lot longer bit because it's about COVID and the cats, and it also goes into my wife getting close to dying because she had COVID and the whole bit. But this is just a little thing about dogs and guns.
I don't know if you heard of it. It's gone now. But the worst thing about COVID for me was when I went into the market and there was wet pet food shortages, dog food, cat food in cans. None. Now, I don't know what you know about animals. I don't know if you're an animal lover or not. I don't know. But animals used to be wild, and they used to eat meat. And if you think about it, we are just meat. And if you don't give them their food, we will become their next meal. I mean, and this is how it happens, okay? You may not realize this. Statistically speaking, 27 dogs every year accidentally shoot their owners. And you hear about dog shooters that they were hunting and the dog accidentally shot his master, okay? And you know why that happens? After all this time, dogs are so domesticated, they can't hunt without guns either. But cats, they maintain that part of themselves.
Okay. That's it. Just a little short thing. One of those little throwaway lines. I think every comedian has like little throwaway things. And I have I have tons of throwaway lines that are just reusable. Or, a version of that. A fact, the fact that dogs shoot people. And actually, I did the statistics on it. And I don't know what it is now. And I think I goofed. I think it was 27 dogs shot people. I don't think it was a 1-year period. It may have been a 5-year period. But there were 0 instances of cats shooting their owners. There was always dogs shooting their owners, and no cats shot their owners. And that was part of the statistics I was giving there. But cats don't have to shoot their owners. They can smother us in their sleep. So let me see what this next one is, if I got this right. Oh, okay. All right. I've shown you this before. I'm just going to show the 1 minute, 2 minute part because I'm reworking it. And the purpose is what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. What I'm about to show you is the very first time I did it on stage, and I was actually working it out as an improv act out. I had the concept. I had 2 concepts in my head, and so I did both of them on the stage to see which one would work better. This is called Make Love Like War. And after that, I'm going to pull up the rework. Now, I haven't performed it yet. I'm still writing it, but I'm going to read what I've got written so far. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do it as a real stand-up bit, as opposed to an act out where I have no idea what's going on. And this is what this is. This is the very, very first time that I'm working on Make Love Like War. Take it away, Jim.
All right, thank you. I'm G.D. Benderson, and point of fact, I am Not like you young folks. I'm not like you guys. I was born 1959. Hey, you can do the math. If you can, I'm 42. And at 42, back when I was young like you guys, when my wife and I went to have sex, we had our songs. You know, we had our song that we played and we got nasty with it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a little older. Song ain't gonna do it anymore. I turn on the TV and I look for a war movie. And when the bombs get good and loud, I pull my wife real close and I say, baby, the war is here. We may not make it out of this alive. Don't know how much time we got. But if this is our last time fucking, let's do it right. Then I take off my gun belt, take off the camo. Pop! Pop, 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 pop! There's the Nazis. They're killing the Nazis now. Bam! Oh yeah. Here they come, they're retreating. Bam, bam, bam! That's what I need to get going. This is gonna do it no more. I'm old. It's like, oh shit, hold on! Incoming! I'm going for the foxhole. Oh yeah. We're gonna get carpet munch. Bomb! Carpet bomb! I don't know if it's safe out there, honey. But we're not going to surrender. What'd you say?
What's your address?
Oh, armistice. I thought you said arm and fist. I was gonna. Oh, shit, that's some big foxhole. Shit.
Okay. Now, so that was what I did then. This is what I'm working on now for that same bit. Do I have? And it's not finished yet. So you're actually getting, this is like the comedic process. You saw the very first thing, and that was in 2022. And I abandoned it. I never performed it anywhere. I never worked on it again. I kept it in the back of my head because I know it, make love like war. I've had that routine in my head, but I didn't give it another thought. It's just a note. If you saw there, I jumped on the floor and I crawled across the floor. And the next place I tried it, I did that on the floor and I got up and I was covered with dirt and dust. And I thought to myself, I can't do this. It was a week later, I tried it. And that's what made me abandon it. Because at that point, it was still in the running with the roller coaster bit. And so I tried it at a different place. And I was covered with dirt and dust. And I thought to myself, I don't know what condition floors are going to be in. So I abandoned it. So now I'm reworking it. And so this is what I have. It's called Make Love Like War. Okay. When I was in my sexual prime, I could make love to anything. Not anything. Any song. I didn't have to turn the knobs on the radio to find a romantic song. Forget the song. Just turning the knobs was enough. My Wang Chub, my Willie, and my Nelson. I'm talking about my boy without a hood. Would sing like Lionel Richie. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I'm a lot older now. My body's gotten softer and my hearing's gotten harder. Now soft rock is just that. A careless whisper won't do the trick. I love George Michael's music, his notes, not his staff. But I need something stronger. I need something to hit me like wham. Now I need I'm going to hunt for her red October, and I'm going to torpedo it from here to eternity. I'm going to make love to her until all's quiet on her western front. Then I'll flip her over. She will not see that coming. Not see. First, I send in my scouts. The terrain is unfamiliar, a little wetter than expected. I try to work my way through the brush to a clearing. There's a hint of summer breeze, but by the time it's over with and done, it's going to smell like napalm in the morning. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Cover me! I'm going in! I send in my foot soldier. A foot is exaggerating. My strategy is simple. I make my way to the foxhole and I dig in. Then an all-out frontal assault. So much blood. Medic! Medic! We need more men! We exchange more gunfire. Come fire. Aim high, they will not see it coming. I discharge my weapon. I lob a grenade. I am all out. I need to reload. What used to take minutes could take days. Both sides are exhausted. The battle has been going on for far too long. 6, maybe 7 minutes. She calls for an armistice. I get scared. I think she said arm and fist. So much blood, sweat and tears. Now I can hear the music. Sounds like victory. That's what I got so far. And of course I have to, and you two have, see, something freaky is going on. Now, Heavy Kev says, God help my kids if they ever want to marry someone like me. And something to think. I think that's something to think about. Wait a minute. I just want to see what's next. Thun. Oh, okay. Thunk. Got it. Yeah. Okay. I think parents should be aware that when they're raising kids, the parents are also the model or the anti-model for what their kids may wind up with when they get older. And so I think, but I think quite often parents are too busy raising the kids and putting fires out to realize that, okay, because right now they have a 2-year-old or 3-year-old. They don't want to think about the fact that in 13 years they're going to be dating. They got little fires to put out. They have, to teach them how to read and write and be responsible. And parents aren't thinking that at some point this kid is going to start dating or marry, and they're going to marry someone like me or the opposite of me. But that's always like in the back of my mind that was always in the back of my mind when I was raising kids, that I was going to be a model or an anti-model. And I tried real hard to be the best model that I could. That was like always in the back of my head. If they grow up to emulate me, what kind of person are they going to be? Or if they grow up to date someone like me, what kind of person are they going to date? So. Got the little stirry circle. I apologize for if I skipped out for you. I apologize because I can't see if I froze or not. So, but I apologize if that was the case. So I'm going to play this next bit. It's called Thunk, and it should be self-explanatory. We'll see. Here we go.
My wife has a thinking problem. I know. It's like, and the thing is, it's okay when we're thinking together, But like right now, she's at home thinking by herself. Okay? And it starts off, she has one thought, and then a second thought, and then a third thought, and the next thing you know, she's stunk. She's stumbling across the bed, passed out if I'm lucky. Because if she's not passed out, that means when I get home, I have to hear what she's been thinking about. Now, I say she has a thinking problem because it manifests in strange ways. Mainly because we have a mixed marriage. Okay, yeah, I'm black and she's white. Well, reparations. The real mixed marriage part is that I am a morning person. This is how I wake up. My wife is not. She needs coffee before she needs it. Yes.
Okay. I cut that there because the piece after that you've heard before or played before. So let's see here. Oh, okay. I just got a note from the Bead Man, and sure. All right, I'm assuming he's not talking about this Friday, but next Monday. So, and again, I froze up. I apologize. Sorry about that. Froze up again. I don't know what it is with the connection. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But I'll reach out to you, John, and we'll talk. There's this last piece that I'm going to do. I can't remember what the piece is. But wherever it is, whenever it did, it's like 2 or 3 minutes and not one person laughs. And this joke or this sketch for you, but froze again. Sorry, I apologize. I'm almost positive I played like a version of this joke where people are laughing. Nobody's laughing here, and I'm just learning this about myself. When I don't hear a laugh, I'll go, okay, like, or something like that. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. Here we go. It's about my father's meandering penis, and I'm telling this version, and nobody's laughing, and I could pull out 3 or 4 other, because I've only done this bit 5 or 6 times. And so people laugh. This is like me not getting a laugh at it, and don't understand. This is funny, but here we go. Yeah. I'm at the Wealthy Theater.
Like I said, that's it. I'm it. I am the last of my immediate family. I have nieces and nephews, and so now I'm in charge of all my family's memories. If they want to know what happened to their father and their mother while they were kids, or their pop and nana, they have to ask me. And I have to decide, what should I tell them? What do they need to know? Do they need to know that my father, their pop, had a meandering penis? Yeah. My father,
I'm thrown off right there. Like, what?
He treated his package like he worked for UPS. Okay? What can Brown Dick do for you?
That always gets a laugh. I don't get it. I didn't pause that. I don't know what. Let's try again. What the hell? I don't know what just happened. Let's try this here. I apologize. It started over.
I have nieces and nephews, Okay.
And so now I'm in charge of all my family's memories. If they want to know what happened to their father and their mother while they were kids, or their pop and nana, they have to ask me. And I have to decide, what should I tell them? What do they need to know? Do they need to know that my father, their pop, had a meandering penis? Yeah. My father, he treated his package like he worked for UPS. Okay? What can Brown Dick do for you?
Really? Is that like the end? Oh, okay. That no wonder this stuff. Okay, I thought there was a problem. No, that's the end. I just okay. That's it. And it's 11:16. Just enough time. Which I'm working on fixing. I started putting video in there. What it is, I have to look at some of my. It's been so long since I've worked on one of my own music videos that I don't know what my formula is. So I have to go back and look for some things. But I don't have any more new art. I don't have any new photographs that I wanted to share. So what I was doing, I was just filling it in with some Heavy Kev artwork. But that's not today. You won't see that today. You're going to see the same unfinished version that I played last week. And that's okay. Yeah, but that's that bit meandering with the meandering penis. That like you heard the audience, nothing. And that audience was with me. A lot of that audience laughed at a lot of the other stuff. They did that for some reason. That part was not there. Now I'm beginning to think, because that show started late. And it started like 15-20 minutes late because the people were still coming in, and so we didn't start the show on time. And so maybe their asses were tired, because they did laugh a little bit later. I don't know. But there was a section where I'm talking about my father's dyslexia. Now, his dyslexia was so bad, and this is where you get to say, how bad is it? So I say, my father's dyslexia was so bad, and they go, how bad is it? And then I would do a joke. Then I would say, his dyslexia was so bad, and they go, how bad is it? And I have a few versions of that, 3 or 4 versions, and the audience is always like, how? Because they love the call and response thing. They go like, how bad is it? And this audience is like this. They start off like, how bad is it? And then by the third one, they're like this. How bad is it? Damn. And so I think the audience got tired. We started late, and I think they were ready to go home. But anyway, I love that theater at the Wealthy Theater, and I want to be able to do it again. To get some more funds. And I'm not getting enough local paying gigs to pay for that kind of stuff. So at any rate, look, it's I thank you guys for hanging with me, for putting up with me, for hanging up with me for another rendition of No Matt Thursday. GD explains his jokes. I think I probably have some more material that we could look at that you haven't seen. I don't want to keep. I try real hard not to play the same things that I've already played, unless there's a reason for it. Like I'm showing you a different version where one audience laughed and the other audience didn't laugh. Right now, I'm working on putting together a compilation of like one joke, but it's going from 3 or 4 different places, and it's just I was going to do it for today, but it's a little bit more complicated because I'm looking at 4 sets, and I'm trying to grab a chunk, and then move them together, so that it goes and tells like one continuous story, but from 4 different shows. And that bit is like, I think 8 or 9 minutes long, I think.
And then I also have to find the right bit to do. Because again, I don't want to show something that you've already seen if I can avoid it. And I don't have a good track of this. I didn't start writing down what things I used. And I'm going to look for some more open mic stuff because I have terabytes of video. But the thing is, and I'm, some of the open mic stuff, you're getting a lot of really, really bad sound. Some open mic stuff, you don't see it at the time. You set up the camera, and then you go to do the open mic bit, and then someone bumps the camera, and all of a sudden it's pointing at the ceiling, but you don't know because you took the stage to do the open mic. But I kept all that stuff so that I could listen to it, learn something from it. And now I'm afraid to throw it away, honestly. Although I did find, I deleted I had already deleted thousands and thousands of pictures of comedians that I've done shows, showcases, and open mics with. Thousands. And I found some thousands more. Recently, I found a folder that had thousands of pictures of comedians that, open mics, showcases, and shows. And this is, let me see, what's today? Today is the 6th. My anniversary of doing comedy is next month on the 14th. And we're going to do something real special on the show that day. We're going to not talk about it. So, well, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to end with This Must Be a Mistake. You've heard it before. If you like it, I'm playing it again. If you don't like it, it's a good time for you to sign off. I'll tell you on the other side. We did talk, we talked to the guy, the remodeling guy. He said they're going to take care of everything, the complaints that we had. I didn't complain about the faucet because had to buy a new faucet anyway. So there's no point me complaining about the faucet when I got to buy a new one. So this, we'll buy a new faucet, I'll install it. And when they come back with a new counter and they can, whatever faucet we get, they'll just move it to the new counter. So I'll buy, my wife and I have to buy and install a new faucet. Hopefully we'll get that done real soon. But the shower looks good. The shower runs well. So we have a working shower, working toilet. The sink is not working yet. And that's basically it. They said they're going to take care of it. Here we go. This is This Must Be a Mistake. Urban Poets Society from the CD Volatile Cocktail, the unfinished video.
This man, you'll want us back together. I gave all my heart to you. this for me. This must be a mistake. Losing you would be obscene. This must be a mistake. Well, it's hard to make this quantum leap. This must be a mistake. Yeah, but what we sow is what we reap. This must be a mistake. You don't want me around here, think it's so much better. Once you get to know this man, you'll want us back together. I gave all my heart to you, how much more can I take? Love you once and someone new, this must be a mistake. This doesn't seem so very smart, must we go our ways? Because we're making both our lives a waste of yesterdays. Misguided by our own self-worth and take our work away. So tell me, this must be a mistake. 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 I said now this must be a mistake. I said now this must be a mistake. This must be a mistake. This must be a mistake. I said now this must be a mistake. I said this must be a mistake. Be a mistake. You're right.
Oh, you're still here. Oh, I had to be here because I always have to hit the end stream button, so I can't leave. Otherwise it'll just keep running and running and running, and you just be looking at this thing behind me, which is like a good advertisement. But let me say, I do want to say this. I should have mentioned this before. Buy Swimming the Cleveland Ocean by John Palumbo, okay? So the paperback book available on Amazon, and you can also go to crackthesky.com and order the digital download and the audiobook, okay? And this special offer, if you buy the book, you get the foreword free. Yes, the foreword written by, what's that say? G.D. Fenderson. That's right. I wrote the foreword to the book. Yes. So buy the book, get the foreword for free. What a deal. What a deal. Swimming the Cleveland Ocean by John Palumbo of Crack the Sky. Okay. Get it. Talk to you later. And check us out tomorrow. Our guest will be, I can't remember. I don't know his name. It's Elizabeth Croydon's father. So we'll say Mr. Croydon. And he has a book that we're going to discuss. I don't know anything about it because I haven't done my research yet. I'll research it tonight. But check us out tomorrow. Thank you so much. And have a really, really, really good day. Bye.